2018 Abarth 595 Hatchback Review. The good points of Abarth 595 Hatchback: excitable handling, thrilling top-spec engine and exhaust, stylish Italian design. The bad points of Abarth 595 Hatchback: seriously compromised ergonomics. Higher spec models aren't value. Lacks practicality of their rivals. Based within the Fiat 500 city car, Abarth's entry into your hot hatch market provides a stylish bundle of fun packed with character and Italian charm. The top-of-the-range 595 Competizione model is very exciting, blending genuine performance car numbers of speed with the enthralling soundtrack. However, it falls well less than the mark in many key areas, meaning it's difficult to recommend it one over similarly priced plus much more practical rivals, like the Ford Fiesta Street, Peugeot 208 and Suzuki Swift Sport. Remember, whilst it may be sized to contend with cars including the Renault Twingo GT, the 595's premium pricing takes it from sporty city car into full-blown hot hatch territory. 3 trim levels and power outputs. Depending about how hardcore customers want their 595 for being, you can find 3 separate trim levels available. The core 595 could be the basic trim level and will be offering up 145 horsepower. The mid-spec 595 Turismo produces 165 horsepower plus the top-spec 595 Competizione boasts 180 horsepower as well as a swathe of performance upgrades. Enthusiastic handling lacks poise. Boasting agile cornering and road holding, there's plenty to love about the Abarth 595's handling. It retains the charm with the Fiat 500 which it's based, yet crucially seems to add some genuine performance car character in the mix also. Compare its driving dynamics with class-leading contemporaries including the Ford Fiesta Street and Peugeot 208 GTI, however, and also the 595 fails to deliver on overall engagement. It lacks the soundness and control of the larger rivals, meaning the all-important confidence-inspiring approachability from the finest hot hatches is absent on the 595. Cabin comfort needs addressing. Drivers of the average height and above will battle to get comfortable inside the 595. Its non-adjustable standard seats are situated far too high from the car to have you ever gotten properly comfortable. There may also be issues with all the headrest and adjustment levels for your seats and tire, meaning possible buyers would be advised to adopt an extended try before investing in a deal. Much more about this stylish and sporty small car, Abarth 595 review. 3 power outputs being offered. 595 Competizione provides most thrills. Stick with all the standard manual gearbox. The Abarth 595 comes in 3 different trim levels, each of them extracting different amounts of power on the car's 1.4-liter turbocharged petrol engine. Customers also provide the option of a robotized sequential gearbox, essentially a computerized gearbox using a manual override, which added £1,350 into the price with the car at use of riding. We'd save the cash and stick using the EasyTouse manual transmission regardless of what 595 you opt for, however. 3 different power outputs. The entry-level 595 boasts the tiniest power output with the range, producing 145 horsepower and 206 Nm of torque from the 1.4-liter engine. This results in a 130 mph top speed and also a 0.62 mph use of 7.8 seconds for that manual and 8.0 seconds for your robotized sequential gearbox. Even with such modest performance figures, the normal 595 might well be all your vehicle many Abarth buyers are ever going to need. Next up will be the mid-range 595 Turismo trim, which gains a better turbo as well as air filter over its lesser sibling. This means it's great for 165 horsepower and 230 Nm of torque, gains of 20 horsepower and 24 Nm respectively over the standard 595. As a result, 0.62 miles per hour drops into 7.3 seconds, 7.4 to the robotized sequential gearbox, while top speed is bumped nearly 135 miles per hour. Both the 595 and 595 Turismo require Sport Drive mode to become engaged in order for getting maximum torque in the car. This setting also sharpens the steering and throttle response in most 595 variants. Sat at the top on the 595 range could be the flagship Competizione model. Although sharing many of their performance parts while using 595 Turismo, the Competizione ekes out an additional 15 horsepower from the 1.4-liter engine, producing 180 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque, not an inconsiderable amount vehicle weighing just 1,035 kilograms. The end product is often a punchy, exciting engine that relies upon its turbo to supply the lion's share of power and torque. Said turbo is most effective after 3,000 revolutions per minute, at which the 595 Competizione has strong but linear power delivery until its 6,500 revolutions per minute redline. Raw figures are 0.62 miles per hour and 6.7 seconds, 6.9 for your robotized sequential gearbox, and also a 140 miles per hour top speed. It doesn't feel quite as quick like a Ford Fiesta Street or Peugeot 208 GTI. Even so, the 595 Abarth Competizione's acceleration carries a relentless quality going without running shoes. Small car, big exhaust. For driving enthusiasts, the record Monza quad exhaust system only at the 595 Competizione steals the show. Crackling, burbling and rumbling from the gears, it provides each little Fiat a feature few rivals can contend with and really increases the occasion. Be warned, however, some drivers might discover its constant vocals tiring, especially when cruising on motorways or driving around shortly before bedtime. Fun handling and high grip levels. Torque transfer control improves cornering. Lacks the poise and stability of rivals. The pint-sized Abarth is nimble and darty on twisting roads, offering a sense of fun and several cornering grip from the dry. There isn't a similar confidence-inspiring front-end stability and adjustability as being the Ford Fiesta Street or Peugeot 208 GTI, however, and plenty of will have to acquire used to your elastic-feeling steering. Clever electronic assistance as standard. In a quote to help the front-wheel drive Abarth pull its way through tight bends, the Italian manufacturer has fitted a gadget called Torque Transfer Control (TTC) as standard on all 595s. It operates by automatically braking the within wheel and utilizing it like a pivot point when accelerating by having a corner, tightening your vehicle's line. It is successful and allows the trucker to safely carry more speed through bends. Yet there's always an awareness of that the wheels are overly wanting to spin under acceleration and lose traction within the more powerful models. Indeed, get too eager with all the throttle while cornering along with the front end will squirm around under power, as being the tires find it difficult to deal with the numbers of torque. Upgraded brakes and suspension on 595 Competizione. Customers who are willing to splash out around the most expensive 595 Competizione model can get upgraded suspension and high-end Brembo brakes. The latter offer excellent feel and feedback from the pedal while keeping the auto stable under hard braking. The suspension, meanwhile, isn't overly firm and performs well on smooth roads yet struggles when confronted with sharp bumps mid-corner, unsettling the balance on the car. For those following optimum 595 driving experience, Abarth will likely fit a limited slip differential on the 595 Competition so that you can dramatically increase cornering grip and traction. It works such as a more effective, mechanical version with the TTC system and may help rein inside the high quantities of torque. Driving position too high for warm hatch. Headrest on standard seats is defined too far back. Easy-to-watch dials and intuitive infotainment system. The 595 boasts clear, easy-to-watch dials as well as a chunky leader, yet it's the driving position that truly lets the inside down. Standard driving position is much too high up. In common using the Fiat 500 on what it's based, drivers with the 595 sit incredibly high in the cabin and almost feel perched on top in the car itself. This isn't this type of big problem with the 500 city car, yet a sporty hot hatch such as 595 really should offer a lower, more involving seating position. Drivers using a tall torso will likely notice which the rear view mirror sits directly of their line of sight, sometimes obscuring junctions as well as other vehicles. There's no reach adjustment within the steering wheel either, as well as the pedals are set quite far on the base on the seat. This means that as a way to sit at a cozy distance through the wheel, many drivers will feel too close to your pedals within an unnatural position. Headrest position past an acceptable limit back on standard seats. Another major gripe would be the standard black fabric sports seats available too in leather and Alcantara with carbon fiber seat backs on an extra 1,200 pounds. They look fantastic, yet unless anyone sat within them has the seat position bolt upright, the headrest is uncomfortably, and potentially dangerously, far back, leaving a sizable gap between head and headrest. This is wonderful for those who wish to adopt the Abarth onto a racetrack and desire the extra room to put on a helmet. However, it creates a problem for people who predominantly use the vehicle on road. Note also, how the front seats offer no height adjustment, while backrest adjustment is tricky as a result of an awkwardly placed control wheel. Aside on the ergonomic issues, the controls are well labeled and easy to use, although some with the plastics feel fragile. The standard 5.0-inch infotainment system touchscreen is small but responsive, as the menus are fairly simple to use, if the little cluttered. Acceptable ride and refinement of many trims. Uncomfortable standard seats let the medial side down. Ride comfort varies according to trim and wheel size, using the top of the range 595 Competition providing the firmest setup. Even so, the highest spec model can be a surprisingly comfortable motorway cruiser whenever you can block out the noisy Monza exhaust system. Move on to bumpier roads, and although they'll unsettle the balance from the car, the ride never feels jarring or unbearable. The standard seats include the only real upset when it comes to comfort, making use of their firm and uncompromising structure. In order to have the best from them, drivers have to sit almost vertical inside the chair, a quirk with their design that won't suit everyone. Average equipment levels on all trims. Plenty of choices for customers to spec. Extra performance parts higher up inside the range. No matter which one from the 595's three trim levels going for, regular 595, 595 Turismo or 595 Competition, how much standard products are unremarkable for just a car within this price range. Standard Abarth 595 equipment. Starting together with the regular 595. You may expect Abarth fabric sport seats with height adjustment, aluminum sports pedals, fog lights, 16-inch alloy wheels, a 7-inch instrument display with sports mode, air conditioning, 5-inch infotainment touchscreen with DAB radio, Bluetooth phone connectivity, USB and O plugs. Upgrade to 595 Turismo spec and features including automatic dual-zone climate control, leather Abarth sports seats, 17-inch alloy wheels and rear parking sensors are added for the equipment list. You also obtain a number of performance part upgrades thrown in using the Turismo spec, including Koni rear suspension, a higher performance furnace filter, a better turbocharger and high-performance brake pads. Splash out for the top spec 595 Competizione trim, and there's little inside the way of extra driver convenience or entertainment toys. Instead, you receive a raft of performance upgrades including the record Monza exhaust system, back and front high-end Koni suspension and 4-piston performance Brembo brake calipers. Fabric Abarth Casa Seatbelt racing seats and 17-inch Casa alloy wheels may also be included using the top spec 595. Optional Abarth 595 accessories. What the Abarth 595 lacks in standard equipment, it will make up for inside the level of options and personalization offered. It can't be customized to the quantities of a Mini Cooper, yet there's still probability to personalize in case the customer wish. Starting using the multimedia options, TomTom SatNav is obtainable on all trim levels for having a 5-inch infotainment screen and having a larger 7-inch display for really outlay. An upgraded Hi-Fi by Beats sound system is sold. Move on the outside and customers hold the choice of a volume of different exterior paint shades like the striking bicolor designs on Turismo and Competizione models. The body isn't the one thing you can have painted, either, together with the Abarth's brake calipers also offered in a selection of red and yellow. An electric glass sunroof, numerous alloy wheel designs and part Alcantara racing seats can also be available for all those looking to make their car jump out. Yet the more expensive option, by a serious long way, may be the Performance Pack. As well as offering niceties such as being a Scorpion antenna plug, 17-inch Supersport alloy wheels and Seatbelt leather Alcantara seats with carbon fiber shells. A mechanical limited slip differential is additionally included. Designed to boost cornering grip and traction, driving enthusiasts may choose to spec the Performance Pack to the limited slip differential alone. Learn more around the benefits of a limited slip differential here. Abarth 595 not tested by Euro NCAP car safety examiners. Fiat 500 which its based scored 5 stars in 2007. The Abarth 595 hasn't been tested by Euro NCAP along with the Fiat 500 which it is based was last put in the microscope in 2007, beneath the old, less stringent system. Even so, it scored 5 stars for adult occupants and 3 stars for child occupants, impressive results for this sort of small car. What lets it down most, however, may be the lack of any crash prevention or mitigation systems. For example, many new cars come fitted with autonomous emergency braking (EB) technology that detects when a major accident is imminent and applies the brakes if the driving force doesn't. It's helped improve safety and minimize insurance premiums with a raft of brand new cars, yet due to your vehicle's age and design, is absent for the Abarth 595. Cross-traffic alert, lane departure warning and hill start assist are also electronic safety aids absent through the Abarth. Boot space fails to get results compared towards the 595's rivals. Rear seats only really suitable for short journeys or kids. Reasonable storage inside cabin. There's no getting away in the fact how the Abarth 595 is really a small car, and as the Fiat 500 which its based scores well for practicality in comparison to its city car rivals, The 595 doesn't fare likewise in the hot hatch sector. With the back seats in position, the Abarth boasts 185 liters of luggage capacity, increasing to 550 liters once they're folded down. This lags far behind the three-door Ford Fiesta Street 290 liters while using seats up, 974 liters with him or her down, and Peugeot 208 GTI 285 liters and 1076 liters. The available space is perfectly usable in its own right, however, all of which will fit a few medium-sized bags with no trouble. Sitting from the back seats yields an unexpected amount of legroom, although a genuine shortage of headroom means they're only really suitable for short journeys. Note that there's no middle seat, either. Every 595 is included with 2 small bottle holders between your front seats, a glove box and door pockets. These all offer usable quantities of space.